Hey guys, Cockerpunk here, coming to you with a new episode of the Old Guns Tour. I just picked this up from 98, or Tippy 98 Chop Shop. He's on PB Nation, Tech PB, he's on all sorts of different websites. But picked this up for him because he picked it up for cheap. This is an Angel LCD, and I old schooled it all out for you. This is definitely not the way I'm going to ever use this gun. Mind you, I will put a CP direct mount on there and the stock infinity barrel and clamping feed. But I wanted to old school it out for you guys to just talk about the the way pros used to play paintball. It's kind of interesting. This was the idea. It was a toss-up between the Flame Drop and the Drop Zone 2, but I had to do the Drop Zone 2 because this is a 68 45 tank, and it's designed to be shot like this in almost a praying mantis feel. And I don't really know why, but it does kind of balance in the hand well, but it's just very short. And with a shorter barrel, you can see it's a really handy little package. This is a 16-inch boomstick, which was popular before the ultralight. The ultralight was actually a derivative of the boomstick that was all aluminum, until demand changed from stainless steel backs to aluminum backs. Fortunately, though, the nice Infinity stock barrel is a great shooting barrel, so so I use that. But you can kind of see that this is a short package. Nowadays we play with long guns, and I think that mainly has to do with the cover we play behind. Back when this is a 99 Angel, 99 LCD. Back then it was mostly hyperball, so you were playing behind hard cover, where if you I don't even know how to say it, but it's hard to play hard cover with a long setup because you have to stand real far back. Whereas with airball, you can move the bunker with your setup and come out and shoot. Whereas you can't do that when you're playing behind hyperball or other hard cover. So I think that's one of the reasons why we liked real short little guns. Another thing was the high-rise feed neck. You would never see a feed net like this on any gun ever anymore. And that is because this was the professional hopper till about 2002 or 2003. Every pro owned at least one of those guys, and that's what you fed your gun with. And, you know, this gun can shoot a lot faster than this hopper can feed. So what you try to do is you try to get a big long ball stack. You get about 4 or 5 balls in your ball stack, and that way you give your revy time enough to catch back up to your firing rate, so you can shoot short bursts fast. Now I'm definitely going to be using something of the clamping variety and or lower profile. And then I kind of wish I had my Allen wrenches up here because I put this back on it. But anyway, that just kind of is a little bit on the way we used to set up guns. I was never a huge fan. I was a Cocker kid back then, so Cockers never really saw the really large feed necks because Cockers are just not that quick. Not to mention there's no blowback on a Cocker, so you don't have to worry about blowback pushing your balls back up the stack. So Cockers never really saw the high-rise feed neck craze the same way Angels did. Angels and Shockers both. So anyway, now we can go into kind of more the details of this gun, some of the cool stuff. Unfortunately, these old guns used a rechargeable battery that fits in this tube. This whole tube is empty, except for a battery, and then there's a switch on the back here. This tube has the hammer cartridge, the valve, and the LPRs in front. The valve chamber is right here. It's actually a high-pressure gun. This gun runs on about anywhere between 300 and 400 psi. is the valve chamber pressure temperature. So one of the cool things besides that is Sorry. Sorry. Come on. Open up. The, sorry, here. The solenoid is actually mounted right here. And, you can see the access to it comes in from the top. And, the board is takes up the whole trigger frame. Now, the problem with these old electronics is this is a 99. It's a NiCad. It's not even a nickel metal hydride battery, and so after 10 years, this battery is toast. New one of these guys costs maybe anywhere between 15 and 50 bucks, and then my charger's on the fritz too, so there's no reason to. Chargers go for 40 to 50 bucks these days too, so there's at that point I'm just going to put a lucky board in this that runs 9 volts, so that's why I have all the electronics gutted out of this besides the solenoid. So I'm going to put a lucky board in there. It'll have all the modern modes and everything like that. So anyway, what I was trying to do before here, and I don't know why it's not working, is, oh yeah, well, another reason why they had lower profile feed necks than this nice wide thing is because I have the roto breech here. The breech actually, let me lock it open for you, if I can. The breech actually rotates out, almost like a revolver system, and then the bolt slides in there, and you can see that's how it fires, which is a clever way to get at the bolt. You can see the top of the hammer right there, which is mounted on the ram, and this is the valve port here. The roto breech is kind of a brilliant design, in my opinion. It's a pretty great way to get access to your bolt. Stock, it came with this guy, which is an interesting little historical feat. In the late 90s, there was a big craze for Venturi bolts, which a Venturi bolt is basically a diffuser in the bolt that spreads out the pulse of the ball, so it's not an open face bolt. Now, a lot of companies did this. WDP did this too, which was we don't want to make a true Venturi bolt because it'll take a lot to machine, because you got to drill all these little holes and yada yada. So all they did was drill the back, tap it for 1032, and put a nice big long screw down the center of the bolt. Now I'm not using this bolt. I'm using this is a Jam anti-chop bolt. It's a spring-loaded bolt. These actually work really well. They don't work as well in the Spiders, but that's because they're made by Kingman. But these old classic Jam bolts work really well. Mine has an anti-rollback feature, so you can see at proper length it sticks a little bit out. That's so I can use a halo or another force feed loader in there. So with the stock feed neck, of course, it fits a lot better here. Anyway, these guns are frightfully fast, especially for their age. It's interesting, I was looking through the modes for this board, and it actually has a PSP legal mode, like a modern PSP legal board. So I could play PSP with this gun, and you can't play PSP with a DM or a DM3 or something like that. Yeah, so anyway, in 1999, this was the Paramount gun. This gun did it all, revolutionized the sport in terms of pushing us towards higher firepower. It wasn't until the Revy caught up, or until we got rid of the Revy, that we really saw the extreme rates of fire that we saw in about the 2004-2005 range. But and now see the trend is to go slower. But back then the trend was to go faster, and this sucker will definitely outshoot most. This will shoot competitively in terms of speed with today's guns, for sure. And actually, I'm a big fan of the LCD frame. I have one on my on my Sandridge, and it's a great fast frame. The trick is to get bounce on it if you really want it to run away. So I don't know. I think that's a pretty good tour overall. It's a fine shooting gun. once I get some new electronics in it, I will actually be using this one, or I'll be borrowing it out to the girlfriend. Either or. But these old LCDs and LED and IR3 Angels are my favorite. They're much better than the new Angels, in my opinion, much to many people's disgust. So it's just I'm glad I picked it up. Thanks to Tippy for sending it to me for cheap, and I'll be using it, and it'll shoot great. So hopefully see you guys on the field sometime. Maybe I'll be rocking an old school gun. So yeah.